You're listening to the Light Novel Podcast. Visit us online at lightnovelpodcast.com.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Light Novel Podcast. I'm your host, Bio Gundam, and today we're going to be covering the series Evil Alice, a dark and twisted reflection of a classical fairy, a classical tale. So, joining me, we have almost the entire crew. So, first up, we've got Flies.
Yo, what up, peeps?
We've got John Luke.
Hello!
We have Kyle.
Hola!
Yep, there's the Ola. We have Mirage.
Good morning.
Yeah, there's a good morning. And we have Terrence.
And Terrence is
Sorry, I'm muted. But hey, I may or may not have much to say on this one. Sorry,
Yeah,
I didn't.
we're just trying to get everyone together, try and get some shit going. So anyway, who wants to sort of kick off what Evil Alice is about? Because I flipped through it. Basically, it was like murder mysteries, Victorian style society, demons, and it's allegories to otome games and Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, so it's not really a murder mystery at this. Basically, it's about a girl, and she's named Alice, and she's in this what's the word? Victorian era world, and she and her friends are hunting for criminals and punishing them mostly by death. But that's mostly the prologue. What it turns out that she and her friends all have died before, and they got brought back to life by a demon, and since then they carry a stigma. They have a special ability, and in exchange for being revived and getting this ability, they're going straight to hell when they die again.
I thought they'd have a stigma for just associating with a demon, but I guess being sent to hell is quite the fucking treat.
So Mirage, you're basically saying, is this an isekai? Is that how they pronounce it?
In the prologue, this main character, Alice, hits her head, and she remembers that she has had a previous life, and this world she's now in is basically the game she has been playing while she was alive, the usual trope. And according to her, this game is so dangerous that it got voted to the most dangerous game, also where you are most likely to die for the whole year, because the farther you get into any route you choose, the more dangerous it becomes.
Oh, so it's like school days, essentially.
I don't know that much about school days, but it's supposed to have some pretty random deaths. But that's just what she remembers of the game, but it's never brought up again, really, because there are actually, in the whole novel, there are 3 situations that are in any way dangerous for the main character. 2 of them you later learn weren't actually dangerous for her, and the one that was dangerous for her, we don't really learn much about. It might have been an accident. So the whole setup with being in such a dangerous game, it doesn't really pay off during the novel. It's really more of a mystery and romance novel than any other thing.
Yeah,
it has some dark undertones, but it's not the main topic.
Yeah, like the shit.
So anyway,
torture and all this crap, but we barely see it. Like it's more like, yeah, I killed someone. Lol.
No, there's nothing like that. Nothing like that in the novel. So the main plot of the novel is that there's been a recent string of girls falling asleep and not waking up, and she's been tasked to investigate.
Yes, by Queen Victoria herself.
Yes, and then she meets some dubious character, a count, who is always dressing in elaborate get-ups with ridiculous hats and so on. And in the original novel, in the original game, she remembers he was some kind of minor character who appeared
I
from
do
time
believe
to
that
time.
he's a DLC character.
Yes, I was getting to that. And at the beginning, she tries to set up one of the routes she knows with one of her friends. But she finds that she's not able to trigger any flags with any of her friends to get on their romance path. And once she meets this other character, she realizes that he has a much larger role, and she realizes that she's in that DLC that was only announced when she was still alive, so she didn't have the opportunity to play it yet. And
guess what? She's playing for it now for free.
Yeah.
So wait, so
yes.
it's a route that she's never played, so she has no clue how to actually advance through it.
So
Pretty much.
That's actually one of the overall I like this novel, but this is one thing I didn't like quite as much, because due to this plot twist, it doesn't really matter that she knows she's in a game or that she has played all the other routes before, because she doesn't have any knowledge about what is going to happen in this route. There's, I think, one scene where she from the novel how to get into an archive, which she knows the secret entrance, but that is literally the only point in the novel where she uses any game knowledge to get forward, and she could just as easily have had this knowledge in world. So there's no reason at all for this novel to be an isekai, and it just feels a superfluous extra layer.
Like, it doesn't feel like it needs to be like based on a game. It feels like it could just have its own plot.
Yeah, like you could just take the isekai shit out and it would work.
It would work. Absolutely.
Yeah, it feels like there's a lot of isekai that are like that you can just remove the part that you come from another place, and it still works. And even sometimes it would be better.
Only
As for
times
the main
isekai
plot,
makes sense.
I quite like the characters. They are quite fleshed out, given what is possible in a one-volume novel. The plot is also okay. If you have read a lot of mystery novels, then you probably know who the antagonist is early on.
Yeah,
because
listen, it was Colonel Mustard in the dining room with the candlestick, right?
It's probably obvious because there is only one character that doesn't have another role in this novel, who is actually who it could be. But it's still a bit of a surprise at the end why and how that character is doing what he does. So I'll give that one a pass. And like I said, overall, I really liked it.
Yeah, I liked it too. It was a fun ride. So, Carl, anything else you want to say?
Well, I really don't want to call this a mystery, because I read quite a few mysteries, and this one's pretty bad.
Yeah. It's more the romance part is definitely larger than the mystery part.
Yeah, it's definitely focused on the the love at first sight kind of romance. The things not quite making sense, whatever, that all the other guys will just always automatically look away from her because they're quote unquote programmed not to fall in love with her on this route. So that kind of saps a lot of the energy out of it. And then, like I said before, the mystery isn't all that great. Because I don't know. Should we spoil?
I already spoiled it was Colonel Mustard in the dining room with the candlestick.
Is it a bad mystery because it doesn't focus enough on it? Like, it doesn't.
I wouldn't say that.
Because when I think of bad mystery, I think of the author doesn't give justified or enough clues where the reader can actually come to a conclusion before it's revealed.
a bad mystery, if you would call it that, because it doesn't give any clues as to who the culprit is in story, but you, as a reader, you probably know it early on because, like I said, there's only one character who he could be. There are not many characters in this novel, and there's this one side character who appears in the novel early on and has no other obvious function. So it's pretty obvious that he's the one.
Yeah, from a meta perspective, I mean, you're gonna get down to at least 50-50 immediately because that's all the characters that are introduced. But it almost feels like, because they say at the end they tell you who the culprit is or whatever, blah blah blah, but then it's like, okay, but then how does the bad guy know all the events that he wasn't there for? And there's what do you call it, there's just a lot of things that don't add up properly, because the reason why these women were targeted and put to sleep should be, immediately obvious to Alice, the main character. Yet she doesn't, discover the link until, the very end. And it's
maybe that is one thing that that might justify this being isekai reincarnation, but. If she didn't remember her life in the novel before in the game before regaining her memories, but she does, so it doesn't make any sense really. Yeah. So because some of the girls that have been put to sleep did so because of something they did to her before she regained her memories, but she should remember this as well. Yes.
So basically, the story makes her kind of like stupid on purpose, even though if it doesn't make logical sense.
Yeah, she definitely could have been more sharp in some cases, yes.
Yeah, it almost felt like there was supposed to be a different ending for the novel, and it should have been the other character who is the main villain. And it just feels like, someone came in, an editor told him, it's like, no, this ending won't do, switch the culprit to the other guy. And then she was like, and then the author was like, yeah, okay, whatever. But then they forgot to write all the parts, in the beginning and the middle to make it have the clues point back to who would eventually become the main villain. It's, not trying not to spoil everything,
I think it's just that they didn't want to put in too many clues, so the readers would figure it out too early. So I think it was the intention was to make this guy the villain from the start, but I think it wasn't the intention to write it an actual mystery novel that with enough hints or real hints to figure it out early.
Yeah, probably.
It is mostly romance novel, and reading it as that is okay. If you read it wanting to read a mystery novel, you will be slightly disappointed. It's not the worst of that sort that I've read, but definitely not the best either.
Yeah, but is it presented as a mystery?
If you read the blurb, it's presented as horror, but that's definitely not it.
Oh god, no.
Yeah, like a shoujo horror. That's not gonna go well. Oh my god, he's so handsome, he's so terrifying, but does he love me?
I mean, it has demons later on, and
not very scary demons.
The whole stigma thing is about demons, but that's about the only horror thing about it.
There's no Yandere festival?
Nope.
Boo.
No.
So, like I said, if you are content with the romance novel with a bit of mystery, then it's a really good read. I found it really enjoyable. But if you want to train your gray cells and want to find out who the murderer is, who the culprit is, then it's going to be disappointing.
Yeah, so instead of that, just watch this podcast instead. We could give you more dopamine instead, get you hooked and addicted. By the way, donate $5 on Justus owns Patreon. Tier 1 patrons only. Anyway, anything else?
Nope, it wasn't particularly long, and I think we've covered everything.
All right.
Without spoiling the main plot.
So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now. Dun, 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 dun.
For show notes and related links, visit lightnovelpodcast.com.